Hi guys, guess who just got a C1 on the German TestDAF exam? It's your girl Amanda. And a little bit introduction about myself. I'm just a polyglot wannabe. I have always loved studying languages. English is my first foreign language, and then German, and then currently I'm self-studying French and Spanish. I will be doing this video in English because it was so hard for me to find a video where people will be sharing about their experience with TestDAF. So I want this video to be as accessible as possible, and I will be dividing this into two parts. The first part I will go directly into what TestDAF is and how I did my TestDAF, with tips and advice I want to give to you guys. And the second part I will be showing you guys what I did on my TestDAF journey or TestDAF trip. First of all, what is TestDAF? I think like any other exams, we need to know what is it first in order to tackle it strategically. And TestDAF is like all the German language exams like Goethe, Tag, DSH. It's for you to test to see what your language level is. But TestDAF is a little bit more academic, and you need to at least have B1 or B2. Like it need to be advanced already, because as you see they have TDN, and you need to have at least TDN 3 in order to pass the exam. And according to them, TDN 3 is already B2.1 and B2.2. And unlike other tests, if you just fail one skill in TestDAF, you need to retake the whole test again. There's no one skill retaking like other tests. And my score was Lesen, I got 5, Hören, I got 4, and then Sprechen also 4, and then Schreiben also 4. Let's dive right into the test. First of all, what did I do before the test? I love German, so it wasn't that much of a deal for me to practice for it. To be honest, it was just like an excuse for me to not work on all the homeworks, because I would always pull out German whenever I feel like math is too boring. As you can see, I have like a whole library just for TestDAF review and Vorbereitung. I have like a lot of model tests, like Musterprüfungen. Like you need to get used to the type of questions you will be given in order for you to be prepared for the exam, because it's not only a test on your German skill, but it's also a test on how do you know the format of the test well, do you know how to manage your time, and are you familiar with the type of the questions that will be given. I always write down the new vocabs that I see. I would also time myself according to the given time and give me a point in order for me to know which level I am at, and then for me to always keep improving. Not only did I do this Musterprüfungen, but I also call my tandem partner literally every day. Now let's get to the day of the exam. I tell you guys need to pack your lunch and have a full breakfast, because I didn't pack my lunch. I thought that I would have time to go back to my hotel and get something to eat, just like what I did with my Goethe exam. But turned out that we cannot leave the exam place and we need to eat at that as well. So you will be taking 4 skills in one day, so please pack a good amount of food with you. Not only that, but here will be the list that what you guys should bring as well. So first of all, your lunch, and second of all, your Zulassung. So you need to have this, like you need to download this permission paper and you need to bring it with you, like permission paper that they give you to say that you have signed up for the test and this is really you, you need to sign the paper. I don't know, but just remember it would be the Zulassung paper, and then your ID or your passport. But remember, it should match with what you have signed up in the website. So for me to be sure, I just bring both of them, but make sure that not to lose it. and it has to match with what you have already signed up with. So your Unterlagen, also your documents, either it is ID or your passport, yeah. And then number 4, you cannot bring your watches because I love managing my time. I was so used to it at home, so I bring, even with my like mechanical watches, it wasn't allowed. So because they will be showing this digital clock on the screen, so you cannot bring your watch, yeah. And number 5 is that you should bring your own pen, and I think pencil is not allowed because like the ink will be faded away or something. But like, bring your own usable pen. It has ink, and then just bring a few extra one to be sure, okay? Because you'll be quite uncertain, you will be crossing the answer and then writing out the whole keyword, so it's important to bring the pen. First skill is Leseverstehen, and you got 60 minutes. And remember that it also includes a time for you to transfer your answer into the answer sheet. So use your time smartly, okay? I think it is stated in the test and also in the practice books about how many minutes should you spend on each part. For example, the first part, it's just reading the requirements of each person and then reading the text to see which of these blocks pass to this person. So it should only take you 10 minutes because it's very easy, but focus on the keywords, okay? Read the whole thing. People always tell you to skim the passage. It never works for me personally because I think some of the words are very misleading because, okay, they might have the same keywords, but the entire context is different, and that's what they want to trick you. So I don't think skimming is a good advice, but rather read the whole thing and read it quickly and filter out the informations that aren't so related. And the next part in the Leseverstehen is you will be reading the whole text and then circle the correct answers for each multiple choice questions. I recommend you to read every questions first and then circle in the keywords, and then you will read the text in order to answer each of the questions. And the text will also be in order, like each of these questions will be in order that is according to the text, like they will be following each other. So when you are finished with questions 1, you will read the next question and find that information in the text, so that you will do it simultaneously. Okay, and moving on to the Lesetext 3, the third one would be, I think it's kind of like the second part, but this one you just mark ja, nein, Text sagt dazu nichts. Also yes, no, or it's not mentioned. I think the method is kind of like the second part, but this one you just answer a different kind of question, but you will also be reading and underlining every keywords first from the questions part, and then read this and answer this simultaneously, okay? Okay, with Lesen, I think you will be having enough time because it's very chill, like there would be no noise around you. For a person who is very hard to focus, I love when we could do tasks in silence and do it at our own pace. So yeah, I hope that you guys should excel in that too. Good luck! The second skill is listening skill, and you guys have 40 minutes for this. This also includes a time for you to transfer your answers into your answer sheet. And this one, guys, on the test day, I managed to go through the whole listening test very smoothly. I done every single questions, but I didn't have enough time to transfer all of my answers into my answer sheet because I was so focused on the grammar and then having the good spelling, and so. But and they also don't show the digital time on the screen. Okay, so for the first text, you can only listen one time. Please always underline and circle the keywords. It's extremely important. And then you need to have, after reading all of the questions, you need to have an overview of what they will be saying and like what's the topic about. Just have some guess, and then also have in your mind as well like which kind or type of word you will be looking for. Is it a verb? Is it a noun? Or like when will they be doing it? If you do the test a lot of times, you will get the patterns, and it's a little bit difficult because you can only listen to it once. So for the questions that you haven't answered yet, just take a guess and don't leave the questions blank, right? For example, they say, was wird auf der Party gefeiert? What will they be partying about? It would be Hochzeit, for wedding, for birthday. Like you could guess it based on the context that they will be saying on all the parts of the listening, right? So take an educated guess. For the second part of the listening test, you will also be listening to the audio just one time, and then you will also be reading all of the question first. Underline and circle the keywords, and then you will be ticking if it's right or wrong. Okay, I think the way to do is just like the first one. The last one's format is a little bit like the first one. You will also be having questions, and then you need to fill in the keywords, but this one you get to listen to it twice. Oh my god, can you guys hear it? Okay, you guys can listen to it twice, but at the same time, this will be the hardest questions. As I have written here, it's a lot longer, and then the questions will also be a little bit more difficult. So bottom line, make sure to manage your time well enough to transfer all of the questions into your answer sheet, and don't skip any of the questions, and also take an educated guess based on the context, because for the listening it will be like a whole story or like a whole thing that is related to each other. Make sure that don't leave anything blank, and also be very calm, because when you just think a lot like what would be happening in the next questions, or like oh my god I missed the first question, you cannot be focused and then you miss all of the information. Be calm, you guys. Okay, for the schriftliche Ausdruck, I hate writing. I swear to god, I know that it's the like highest level of studying, but yeah, I hate it. The biggest difference between TestDAF writing comparing to other tests is that you only have one assignment. So even though you only have one assignment, but there are actually still two smaller parts in it. The first one is that you will be describing a graph. If you guys have done IELTS, you will know what I'm talking about. Like it will be more academic, and you'll be describing a graph, if the numbers have reason, or how the numbers and statistics change throughout the time. Yeah, the first one would be describing the statistic, and the second part would be giving arguments. It would be like argumentative essay. Like it's very important for you to be coherent, for you to fulfill all of the criteria and all of the points that they tell you to talk about. Like for example, they tell you to describe the graph, describe it. They tell them the benefits, the pros and cons, say it. And they tell you to give your opinions, tell that. Grammar is like a stepping stone for things to make sense, right? So okay, if you make some grammar mistakes here and there, it's okay, but I don't think you need to have too much stress over it, because obviously you need to work on your grammar. But what I'm trying to say is that there are more things than that in a language, you know. It's for you to convey a message and show them how good you can use that language. Don't make sucky grammar stop you, because it sure did not stop me. And ChatGPT is a very good way for that. And the German writing trick in Reddit is also good. People will be editing and giving you comments on that, and the Discord as well. You just post your text there, and natives or all the learners will help you with your writing. So just practice a lot, because writing is actually very good. It's like active study. like the most highest level of study, because you will be like using it instead of just listening and absorbing. Now you are producing it. But I'm such a hypocrite because I hate writing. So coming to the mündliche Ausdruck, the last part. You guys have 30 minutes for this, but remember, you guys have 7 parts. Guys, remember, 7 parts, it's a whole lot of parts. So practice it so that you won't be burnt out or that you'll be too tired for it. Guys, listen to me very carefully. You guys will be put into a room full of people, full of distractions. So for people who is very nosy and very hard to focus like me, it was so hard. So prepare for it beforehand. Like when you are in the exam place, you will be sitting in front of a computer in a room full of people, and then you will be having a headphone and a microphone for yourself, and the computer will be reading out prompts, and then you will have some preparation time. It's very short, just from 30 minutes to 1 minute, and there will be an obvious signal for you to signalize that it's time for you to speak, and then you will be speaking into that mic and answer it, and then after that there will be also a signal to sign that okay, your time is up, and move on to the next prompt. So there are tons of YouTube videos giving you that exact times, and then you will be taking out a phone of yours and then you will be timing it, but at the same time you must do it in a room full of other people, or have another device with like some background noises for you to familiarize yourself with this test taking environment. So that is the end of my TestDAF experiment.